everyone. Welcome to D&B's
Dating, Love, and Marriage. We got guests.
We're so
We got
excited.
guests. We got guests.
We have our special guest today. I will let them introduce themselves.
Hi. Hello, everyone. My name is Chris, and this is my lovely wife, Andrea, and we're visited by our little one,
Baby
2-week-old baby Kate.
Yeah.
And you might hear some noise in the background. That's our children, so we excuse us, please.
Hashtag we got kids.
Oh, nice. Right?
We are Pelton's Jr.
Yes.
Most definitely. Can you tell them how long you guys been married?
Oh, we've been married 6 years, almost 7. It'll be 7.
June 23rd.
Yeah. Good job.
Nice. Cool points.
Yeah.
Cool points.
Man, no,
Because we kind of struggle with our
At that point.
marriage because we started dating on
A
one
long
day in
time ago.
June, and then we got married close
Oh,
to
we're
the
talking
day.
about the date.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yes. Okay.
I'm like, of course you
I
started
don't even
dating
know what
on
we're
one
talking
day.
Yeah,
Like, hold on.
and then we got married about 5 days away from the,
Oh,
Oh.
but not in the
okay.
same year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the same.
Yeah,
month.
same.
Just the
Like,
relationship.
So it
June
can be
9th,
confusing.
right.
June 9th, right?
Because I had a hard time with our marriage date. I used to get it mixed with her birthday for some reason.
It was like,
And then,
Happy bird anniversary.
and then I started mixing it with our honeymoon date. I was just
But
all
you
over
got
the
it
place.
down, so it's good.
It's
Nice.
all good now. Look
I said it with confidence, but I wasn't sure. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, no one would have known.
Right?
No, we would have just rolled with it.
Go on with it.
All right, so what is our topic today?
Overcoming disagreements.
So disagreements and how they, our special guest, was able to overcome them. So they have a little situation, and I'll just go ahead and turn it over to them that they're going to share with you all today to give you something to relate to and some little information, and they're going to share how they overcame it.
Oh, okay.
You want me to do the intro?
I just didn't know that we were taking over the show. I thought
We're not taking over the
I
show.
thought.
You guys are our
A
special guests.
portion of it.
Oh God,
This is not only our show now, it's you guys' show as well.
this might end up being
Surprise!
For real.
I'll do the intro.
This might
here.
end up being an hour-long show.
No, I'll let you in. Okay, so like we said, we've been married almost 7 years, and so when Duran texted Chris about the title for today, then we were going to start a list of things that were difficult things that we've overcome, and we stopped at the first thing. So the first thing was sex and intimacy. Right?
Mhm.
And I put both of those together because they're two different things.
But you put them together.
Aha! Same category. So what happened was
Same category, but they're different.
they're different.
I'll ride with it.
Right, guys don't know. So what happened was at the very beginning of our marriage, and really to like the middle-ish or whatever, we struggled with the sex part of our relationship. Just like the connection part with sex, right?
To the middle?
I mean,
Up until like a year.
but we kept having kids.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They were doing just enough for a baby.
But
The
yeah,
one time we have sex is when we get pregnant. See, like,
We
so
can
funny.
relate.
Nah, I'm playing. But yeah, so it was a struggle for us to have that really good connection during that time, and so we would end up getting in arguments, and that's not fun. So, anywho, so you're not supposed
Sorry.
to drink stuff during
Sorry.
it's so good. But you say we start getting in arguments. Be more
Yeah.
specific.
I don't want to be extra specific.
During sex. So we would get in arguments during sex.
I don't want to be that specific.
But you said you brought it up.
I said I didn't want to be that specific.
But we didn't talk about the specificity that we was gonna have today.
But I just said I didn't want to be that specific.
Dear,
I
are
don't
we
know if I
trying
have
to
dear
are we
part.
trying to help people?
We are trying to help you.
Okay, so let's be real. Somebody going through this today. Okay, so
Will you come to the...
Y'all, this
Okay.
We better get 400 or 500 views, y'all. This is a great show. Like, I'm having fun already. We just getting started.
So, okay, fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Fine. Whatever. So yes. So, because the connection was off, right? So it's more than a mechanical thing. It is an intimate moment.
Mhm.
So, great. So, do you want to talk about some of the things that we did that helped overcome that in the last 12 months, according to you?
He said.
It's still a work in progress, right?
Say the good stuff.
Okay, I am. I'm saying it's still a work in progress. Can I leave with that?
Yes.
Still a big work in progress, but we.
He changed it.
Clearly, it's not.
It is. We are working on it.
Oh, we are working on
Thank
it.
you. Don't say that. That's the devil.
Okay.
So, some of the things that we talk. Okay, so we had to be open enough to talk about the situation, right? And put down our guards and actually care about what the other person vice is during sex. So,
And not just, sorry.
go ahead.
Well, I was just saying not just during, because I think your issue was the during, and my issue was all the 98% that wasn't during.
Well, that's not true because
Well, that was mine.
you said two. So you said
Well,
I'm only working.
don't go into well, okay. So
I know where
don't
you're
go
going.
into specifics. Okay.
Only worth 2%.
So I mean, like I feel like you were concerned with the actual act
Yeah,
or whatever.
Don't say that because
I just
remember that.
feel like-
Remember that email I sent you.
Long time
Wait,
ago.
The email I sent you. This has
Uh-huh.
been going on a long time.
Okay.
So remember the email I sent you
This ain't a court of law.
with the picture of when we were dating,
Uh-huh.
and you were showing so much love and affection on that picture, and that's how I remember our relationship being when we were dating. And I said, "Where is this love? Where is this Andrea?"
I'm glad
Remember?
you brought that up. Okay, I don't
Okay.
remember when you sent that
But
email.
I re-showed it to you.
You did. You
Okay.
did. But I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Because
I
Good.
struggle with that.
Because when we were dating, I didn't have a lot of the blockages, like mental blocks that I had once we got married. So one of the things, and you can expand upon this like in a second. One of the things that we did this year, and I always think in school years because I worked with the school district. So this school year that we did was we started going to counseling, and it really helped us to break down some of the like I had resentment toward Chris for certain reasons. He had resentment toward me, and I don't even think he did realize it, but he didn't realize, I don't think, exactly what it was. And so during...
Well, I knew what it was, but like I didn't recognize that it was that was the base of where all my anger and frustration
Came from.
yeah.
And so we had this huge breakthrough moment in counseling or whatever, and it really helped with our intimacy, which helped with sex. But it helped because once that block was down, then I was like, oh, okay, I can be my normal self instead of like uptight even during sex and intimacy.
Yeah, so that happened probably around October 1st.
No, not first. No, not that. No, it's a work in progress. I mean,
But I'm saying that's when I had my day of reckoning when I was driving home from work.
yeah, that's when we were talking. That wasn't during counseling, but we did have counseling that week.
Yeah, so that's when I had figured out like it was like the sun was shining on my face, and I was driving down 121, and I was like, that's it. It's like, Lord Jesus, that's what it's been this whole time. And I've always brought it up to her, and but it was like I never found out that was because I believe everything has a root. Everything has a base, whether it's disease, whether it's whatever. And so I figured, this has to have. Where did it go wrong? Where am I going wrong with the situation? Where is my anger coming from, or my disdain, or disgust, or whatever?
Just lots of synonyms.
Well,
but it was that
strong. It was that strong.
So it's just something that you like I said, just kind of came to you. You were saying just.
I was just I do my talks and stuff with Jesus and stuff like that. Sometimes when I'm driving.
You was talking to me. I was at Walmart.
Yes, dear. I'm just saying I have my talks.
Yeah, no,
with
he
Jesus.
probably talked to Jesus first,
Okay.
and then after he
Yes,
talked to
remember,
Jesus,
I told you this.
then he called Andrea.
I told you that. See, she want to take all the credit. See, Lord, help me, Jesus.
No.
She trying to take it from Jesus.
Yeah. Who is the root of all of this?
Yeah.
That's the base level. So yeah, I had to talk with him, and then after work that day, she called me and she just asked me a question. And, you know, I forgot the question was like something basic, like,
Was it
what,
goals for our relationship?
what are the goals, or what is the, I forgot, it was something like goals, or what is the main issue, or what is something that you want to change, or something like that. And so, you know, that started while I was in the parking lot of my job. I remember where it was when I was driving out. By the time I got on 121, it just hit me while, you know, I was on the phone, and I was just like, that's what it is. So, yeah, but anyway, that's where we started working on it. That's when things started kind of having a turnaround in the relationship, and, you know, so it went from not having sex to having sex and being open about having sex and, you know, doing whatever more. But then, you know, there's layers to everything. So that part opened up, but then we started having trouble within it. So, you know, now we're trying to working through that part of you know, sex, which is, you know, it's still a work. That's the part that's a work in progress or whatever. And
That's okay.
yeah, that's okay. You know, still trying to learn each other, I guess. We didn't have a head start like a lot of people in life with the sex side of things with our relationship. So, which is cool, you know.
Most definitely.
We got to, you know, love each other for each other.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So would you
Why are
say?
you looking at me like that?
I don't know. I started going to the days. Basically, we didn't have sex until we were married and stuff. So I mean, it just took a minute.
Right.
Minutes.
And I know the first time wasn't that great, so it set the tone for the relationship. That's why we didn't have a lot of sex, because she had anxiety, and now the anxiety, I have anxiety when we have sex. So
Well, yeah, because and then you know you wanna be there for your mate, and you wanna be like all awesome and stuff, and it's like and so then when frustration between each other started to build up, that was a whole different thing.
Yeah.
And then we did have some good times in there later on.
I mean, yeah, we
but
had
it just wasn't consistent.
even when it was bad, we had some good times in there.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it was a few times.
I ain't gonna lie.
Trust me, when it's a few, you remember. You know what I'm saying? So,
But,
I want that to be the constant, and you know, the arguing or the discomfort or whatever to be the
Outliers.
you know, once in a while.
So what would you say was that one thing? Just talking about it, communicating,
Communicate,
or
that's all it is.
being
Yeah.
expressing.
Yeah, letting down your guards and being open to listening to the other person. So that's what happened, and I was finally willing to, you know, see, because I thought she was like controlling prior to us getting married, like controlling a lot of situations that needed to happen, giving me ultimatums, and that was my thing, and I didn't like that, and I was like, why did I do this? You know, I shouldn't have never did all this for her, you know, blah blah blah. But God kind of gave me the opening, like she's always said it. You know, that's just how I am. When it's time to take care of business, or when something serious is about to happen, I gotta have all my ducks in a row. She's like autistic, and so she gotta have all her stuff in a row, or she loses her mind. You know what I'm saying? She can't control it. I have this thing right here. She can't control it, and you know, that's just how she is. She's like the Rain Man. She's, you know, I gotta have this in order.
Yeah.
With everything, and I'm pretty sure you've seen some of that with her at work. You know, she just has to have things in order.
I mean, it's a good thing at work.
Operation.
People like that.
Make sure efficient.
Yeah.
But in a relationship, you gotta kind of tone it down back and, you know, be a little bit more. Because some things didn't work out like she had in her mind that they were gonna work out, and it made it a burden, you know. But I see where she was coming from now. But then,
and back then, because he had that, and but it was two different things going on. It was like he had his side and I had my side, and as long as we stayed to our sides, the more we didn't come together.
Right.
And so, in that day that he was talking about on October 1st, one of the things I did was something that we learned at work, and we learned that we're supposed to listen. Listen to people that we're coaching at work, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, and one of the things that we learned specifically, children, y'all can go to your room.
It's nighttime.
One of the things that we learned specifically was to not be afraid of the silence. You know, when you're listening to someone. And so when I called him and I asked him that question, I just stayed silent. Like, I had lots of things I was thinking about, but I was just like, I'm just gonna not say anything. And so he had time to process. He had time to think through stuff. He didn't feel like someone was coming down on him or trying to veer him into another way or whatever. And as I was listening, I was like, oh my gosh, he's figuring this stuff out on his own. This is stuff that I would take the opportunity to fuss at him about, but he's figuring this stuff out on his own. So it was awesome to have that communication. And then I learned that it's okay not to lead and guide everything. Like, he can do it.
Which is it's so hard to do. You love that person in your mind, you think that you can be like, okay, here, you do it. But then in reality, it's not that easy just to let go.
Yeah.
With time. I was like,
yeah, I'm just kind of thinking of the example.
I can see it all.
Not about us. It's not about us.
Y'all can chime in. Yeah.
Certain things, and I think that's the beauty of marriage, because one person has one thing that they're strong at, and then the other has another strength. And when you put them together, you have just a powerful force. So I think that's great, because there's certain things that I can do. I think I said this before. There's certain things I can do she can't do, vice versa. Certain things she can do that I totally can't do. So I think that's good. But what I got out of what y'all two just said, and you can chime in, but it sounds like the first thing you have to do is you have to be attentive or focused. Then the second thing, you have to listen. Well, really communicate and then listen. So you have to be focused or attentive, and then you have to communicate. But at the same time, once you communicate, you have to listen. Is that what y'all was saying about overcoming disagreements? So
you're a great listener.
That's great.
And let down your walls.
And let down the walls.
That's the first thing. If you don't let down your walls, then you're always going to be on the defensive.
Right.
So true.
Right. And I think no disagreement is off limits. You know, I mean, like, no matter what you're going through in your marriage, it could be something as small as, hey, I told you to put the water on the left counter. And you come in and she put the water on the right counter. Well, that turns into a disagreement, because in your mind, you had a reason why you told her to put the water on the left counter instead of the right counter. But communication would have fixed all of that if I would say, hey, the reason why I don't want you to put it on the left counter is because I got something going there. Versus
the like Chris said, and don't come with your guns blazing, basically.
Right.
You know, like said, you have to,
we've all been there.
Yeah,
we've all been there.
Sometimes, you see that, that person does something that you don't like, and you instantly get heated before you actually think about, okay, or try to even understand why they might have done it, or maybe they're just moving fast and didn't intend to do it. You're not trying to see their point of view a lot of the times. You just think about what you very much so. Did you say you was going to share something?
Oh, you want me to share? Sure. Well, one of the things that we was talking about how some things, I think we was talking about strengths in one person. Strengths. Did I say that right? Strengths. I think I put an F on strength, y'all. I called it strength. Kind of like shrimp. Strength. But
like,
Carter as far as
CC, right?
CC, baby. Or the Cowboy, you got to represent no matter where you go. Dallas, Texas, Oak Cliff, America, what they call it now. But yeah. Did you say TV?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they didn't. Tell me you didn't have a mascot.
That don't even count.
But no, when we first got married, I guess my strength was making sure all the bills were paid. And, she had her bills before we got married. I had my own. And she just kept missing the deadline on her bills. So she was kind of late, right?
But how does this lean?
Well, no, I was talking about strengths and weaknesses. Strengths.
Put that TH in
strengths and weaknesses.
So that was your strength, is to be able to guide.
And then I said that but I had really moved past it. You brought it back up. I was done.
He said, I let it go.
But you know what? It's funny that you said that because knowing her on a friendship level, like she's always like, I like to have my bills on time. Like we don't do late. Like so it's funny because at first it was a struggle, but now because y'all been one for so long,
now we don't do late.
Now she's taking on
She knows how it feels to be on time. Now she's like, this feels much better than playing from behind.
They're not calling me no more.
Right.
No 1-800.
Right.
This is
This
just
is
credit
weird.
score.
It's the same thing.
I don't need a
with
cosign.
us. Right. It's the same thing with us with different things. Things that he's really good at or things that I'm really good at. It's starting to become more of
Starting to blend.
oneness.
Nice.
Most definitely. One last thing that I did want to just clarify because we went to dinner with some friends of ours, and I know you guys mentioned the counseling. And one of the things that we talked about is couples in general, young couples, especially young Black couples, don't typically like to go visit or seek help from a counselor or their pastor or someone else outside of their relationship. So, can you tell me, how did you guys come to want to go? Or was it a struggle for you, Chris? Because typically, it's been a struggle trying to get him to go in the past.
Well, first off, shout out to Nate at Fig Tree Counseling in Red Oak. So if anybody needs a great counselor, he's very good, has very good little activities, I guess you would call it. And he listens very well. So with that being said, counseling, we had a situation that happened, and
even before the situation.
But yeah, before the situation, but I'm just saying.
We needed counseling.
She said, "How did we come to?"
Oh, okay.
It's not about the need. Yeah, we've been needing it, but she said, "How did we come to do it?" So that situation brought about, it brought us to a crossroad where, hey, we gonna make this work, or we just need to move on, right?
Yeah.
So, I know I talked to one of my best friends, George, and he was like, bro, he's always said, have you given Andre 100% of you? Have you done everything you can to make everything work, and have you done everything you can to make your family, top notch, the best it can be yet? And I've always, that's always stuck with me, and I've always asked myself that question, Chris, are you giving 100%? So that's why I grind so hard now to try to do the real estate and things like that, because I want to make sure that I give my best to my family of me. So with that being said, that leads into counseling. She's always she's wanted to go to counseling. I wanted to go to counseling, but sometimes, we'll say it, but we never put action to it. We'll never actually call up somebody and never find somebody. So, this time, the last time, she brought it up, and I agreed, and
I was like, okay, you
need to find a counselor.
Or you can find and the reason why I said that was because I already knew that men in general, or I don't know if it's just Black men or if it's all men. I mean, y'all can chime in if you're of another persuasion, and let us know, how is it? But we know for Black men in general, they usually don't want to go to counseling. They don't want to fool with all that. So that's why I was like, well, you go ahead and you find a counselor and stuff, and I would check in with him. I would try not to check in too much.
Yeah.
Because I still was kind of resistant a little bit, because I'm like, how can somebody else tell me about my problems? Or, I'm just paying somebody else just to sit there and listen to me. I can sit up here and talk with you by myself. But then, I'm like, okay, let's just do it and get it over. That's how I was. Just do it and get it over with and see if it helps. So I called up Nate, and or I emailed him and stuff like that, and on my way, as always, home from work, and he reached out to me, and he sounded very gentle and cool and nice, and I was like, all right, we'll do it. So I set it up, paid for it, and the rest was history.
Yeah.
Nice.
And one of the things that was cool about when we went, I mean, you should find out as a couple what's important to you, right? So I trusted where Chris was sending us, so I didn't look up any of this stuff. But when I was there, there were certain things I looked for. So to me, it is a plus if you're a Christian. but you don't have to be a Christian. You know what I mean? I don't know. So, but I wanted the instruction to be sound. So on the wall, Nate had all of his credentials, and he had several. So, and I knew which ones to look for and which ones were important to me, since my dad is also in the field, and I took a picture of it so I wouldn't forget. But yeah, so that was important to me, and it was important that both of us connected with him. So on that first time when we went, Nate told us just how he does things and whatnot. And he was like, guys, you know, he told us the method that he uses, and it is a real method, but I just forgot what it is. But he was like, you know, during counseling, we won't go into the past and find out why this, and this happened, but we'll talk about, I'll be able to help you through techniques and things to move forward, basically. And we started that day, and when we got done, he was like, I'm so glad you guys stayed together, because this is the first time a couple has moved this fast through what they're supposed to go through. And we're like, high five. We're like, okay, because we needed a drop in the bucket, you know, like someone to say something positive.
That it wasn't that we didn't know what the problem was, or that was one of the steps, and we wasn't objective to being open with each other and expressing our feelings. That was another step. And we told him exactly what the problems were. We recognized, you know, what we needed to improve on, what stopped us. I had my reckoning already by then, and he was just like, God, oh, he's like, okay, well, I guess, guys, we're like step 5 in the process.
right. Speeding right on through.
Yeah, right on through it. So, you know, he said that we were like one of his best couples that he had counseled, so that was an honor. So it's like, yeah, you guys need to, you know, I think you guys should stay together. Like, y'all are pretty dynamic, you know, it's just about getting on the same page.
Mm-hmm. And, like, one of the times we went, it started to get a little heat. Well, I started to get heat. He wasn't getting heated, but I was like,
I was on the inside, but I kept my composure. I'm good at keeping my composure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So
because you had that burning desire to,
it was burning.
fire back.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
I was
But
like,
it took everything in my heart just to, like,
You just
quiet.
right. And so
Yeah, you know,
like,
I was just eating it. I was like, ooh, and I was like, how's this going to happen?
I don't remember exactly what
I don't
it was.
remember it either, but
I'm
you
glad you
had
know.
something that was in your mind, your
the
heart.
fire
'Cause
burning.
I think you started crying and everything.
I don't know.
Yeah, you
but
had some tears rolling. You was just like,
it's fiery tears.
and I was like, Lord, how's this going to work after we get out of counseling?
Yeah,
Y'all rode in the same car too?
Right, we rode the same car. But it was cool.
I'll say this, every time we left Nate, everything was already died down. By the time we walked out that door, we went and got snow cones. They're like, hey, you know, everything is just cool. We start implementing, but like, you know, you get it all out right there, and it's like, dang, oh hell, this is gonna be bad.
And he always gave us tools to help us through it. So, you know, I would give advice to another couple that if you go to a counselor and you know, you don't feel like it's the right fit, it's okay to go to another one. You know, if you go one and you're like, okay, when we left, we're still ticked off, or, you know, I don't feel like we had a good connection, or we feel like, I feel like during our premarital counseling, a lot of times I feel like either he would leave feeling blamed or I would leave feeling blamed.
No, I never leave feeling blamed.
Well,
you did the whole time. You the one that stormed out, remember?
I did. I
Look, and the bad part is,
Wait a minute.
The counselor, it was kind of unprofessional, but she was just being real because she was like, she's a pastor's wife, right? And she was like, when 100 stormed out of that last counselor,
she was like,
she said, they ain't gonna work.
Wow.
She said, y'all ain't gonna stay married. I was like,
that is very unprofessional.
Professional.
But you was taking a lot of stuff to heart though. Like you would take it straight to heart. And you wouldn't want to listen and work it out. You were just like, y'all feel like y'all coming down on me. Why y'all telling me I did this? Yeah, you did that.
She was in her
Going back to the present.
And I would always throw that back in her face. They said we wasn't gonna work.
But now we're back.
But now Nate say otherwise.
Thank God for Nate.
Thank God for Nate. But yeah, so it helped a lot and whatnot. But you know, there are different types of counselors to just find what helps.
Nice.
You know,
in your situation.
Yeah.
And his personality is so calm that it keeps us
calm.
Yeah.
We needed that because you know we can't have no
They have a fired up counselor.
Like,
and
look,
y'all fired
so
up.
what is your problem?
So,
and then
So
right.
what did you hear her say? What I heard her say was that we don't
Right,
need that
right.
type of counseling. You know?
And so when we got home and we had to work through issues, whether it was small or big, it was easier to, just have our guard down and listen to each other. And even if we had a tiff or something,
I would take on Nate's personality, like, dear, on a scale of 1 to 10, how angry are you?
But sometimes it would be like a 1. I'm like, dude, I'm not even angry right
Like,
now.
okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how stressed out are you?
Oh,
that was
would be
always
better.
7 or 8.
7, 8, 9.
But
Really stressed.
Why are you stressed out, dear? And I'll just take him on his prayer. That's how he talks,
Mm-hmm.
But it worked.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be a family counselor forever.
Yeah.
So we're so glad to hear that. Like I said,
Nice.
so there you go. There you have it. So we have Chris and Andrea here today with our very special Cade making his first YouTube. Well, not first YouTube. No.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
his
the first shoot.
I haven't brought
We
it up
haven't
there
done
yet.
a video yet.
I haven't done a video with him yet.
Well, his first YouTube video, and he's asleep. So we thank you guys for being so open and honest with our group and while we're continuing to grow.
That's what it's all about. It's all about being open, letting somebody know, because you never know who may be going through the same thing.
And
That's
we're open.
We have went through some of the same things. So,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great. Like, we're not perfect. I think we forgot to say our line, but by no means are we professionals.
Oh, yeah?
That's our
No.
perspective.
These
Actually, they should have said it. This is
Very
their show. That's probably why we didn't say
And they're
it.
probably like, clearly.
We are
But-
professionals at what we went through.
There you
Yes.
go. There you are.
So,
There you go.
thank you.
We will
Thank y'all. Thank
definitely
you.
come back if y'all,
Yes.
whenever y'all need us.
Please do.
Yes.
We have plenty more.
Yes.
Good. Don't we all? The
Lot in,
list keeps growing.
lot in the back pocket. Lot in the back pocket.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and make sure you hit the notification bell down somewhere at the bottom of the screen. Right there. It's gonna be right there. Right there. Like, subscribe, share. Tell us what you think. Give us comments. Let us know some new topics.
And our fellow friend here, Chris, he also has his own YouTube show.
Yeah, so why don't you go to throw that out there for him?
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Chris,
Yeah.
the YouTube critic, coming back at you with another video.
Love it.
Look him up on YouTube.
Look him up.
And the Robertson family, we have 2 channels.
Yeah,
Nice.
they're so cool, yeah.
So-
Little theme show.
That's our bonding
songs.
Yeah.
I'm like, we'll have to talk about that.
Yeah.
All right, well, until next time, everybody, peace. I was like, you gotta hit it.
Not done yet. All right, do it again, y'all. Peace.